Hello, everyone.
Hey, guys.
Nick Niehaus. We're so happy to be here with you today. So everybody,
been looking forward to it. So thanks for getting together.
Hey, you bet. So I kind of, you want to set the tone here real quick and let Nick take off so we can kind of get to the business of business video school today. So we've known Tristan Ahumada and Jeff Bitzer for a while now, and we've been on the Drunk on Social podcast. We are part of the Drunk on Social Facebook group. We're content contributors in that group, and we love those guys. And so we recently had a chance to meet Nick. And when we did, and we learned everything they're doing with business video school for agents, it's like, man, this is a no-brainer. We have got to collaborate on this because they have such an amazing product, and we can kind of teach you guys how to personalize that product, use it a little bit differently so you achieve your goals of attracting the perfect prospect. So that's what we're here to talk about today. And Michael and I are going to Nick's going to walk you through business video school first, and Michael and I are going to walk you through some examples of how we recommend utilizing the product. So let's get to it. Nick, floor is all yours.
Love it. Cool. Well, thank you, Tanya and Michael. I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and if you want to throw that slide up real quick on the screen, I want to start out by talking about video structure for just a couple seconds here first. So I'm going to get into talking about, what it is that we offer in terms of video recipes as sort of a foundation for this. But I think it's really important to understand, what does a good video look like? What are the key components here? And obviously, this is a rabbit hole you could go down for many, many hours, many days. You kind of keep building on this. But I'm going to give you the 3 basic components of an effective video. And then we'll start to show you some examples of how you can tweak that structure to fit your ideal audience, which is really important, especially as content marketing just continues to get more and more competitive. So this is the structure we recommend. So there's basically 3 parts: the hook, the body or story, and the closing. And as long as you have those 3 components, you're probably going to do a pretty good job of getting the right people to pay attention to your content. So that's something I want to make clear here, is that it's not necessarily about going viral. There's a lot of obviously interest in trying to get as many views on a video as possible, but I really fundamentally think it's more important to make sure you're attracting the right people with your videos, because you could get 1 million views on something, but if none of those people are your prospective customers, it doesn't do that much for your business. So that's what this structure is really supposed to sort of help you do. So first thing you want is a hook, and the hook in my mind is by far the most important part of the video. That's going to be the first 3 to 5 seconds. I think in the TikTok era and the short form video era, we're looking more at the first 1 to 2 seconds at this point. And the idea is that you want to make it clear to the viewer what the heck the rest of the video is about, right? So we want to basically answer that question of, hey, should I stick around and watch the rest of this or not? And in my experience, some of the easiest ways to do that is things like teasing the content, making a slight suggestion about where the video is going to end up going, or my personal favorite, which is asking a question. So you basically ask the question that the video is then going to answer, right? So for instance, if we made a video about getting pre-qualified for a mortgage, I might say, hey, do you know how to get pre-qualified for a mortgage? And the thing is, if you're watching that and you care, right, you want to find out how to get pre-qualified, you're going to watch the rest. If you don't, you're going to move on, right? So that's the idea behind the hook, is that we're making it very clear right off the bat what the video is about. I will mention this right now, that this is not the time to introduce yourself. So I don't start videos by saying, hi, I'm Nick, and I'm going to be, because that's just going to lose people's interest. A lot of times they can see where the video is coming from. You don't necessarily have to say who you are, but if you're going to say who you are, do that at the beginning of the body or story. So second part, body/story, is going to be, here's all I really want you to focus on for kind of the training we're doing today, is keep it short and get to the point. So I'm thinking 3, maybe 4 total points. You might want to have these written down. You don't necessarily have to have an entire script, but if you do, you'll be really careful to get to the point. In fact, when you're first starting to make videos, a lot of times that's the harder part, is how do I get through it, right? It's not so much that I don't know what to say. It's that once I hit record, I tend to say more than I need to. And that makes the video harder for somebody to actually get through. So in a lot of ways, the body of the story, as you're telling the story, or as you're giving people those points, so if it's about getting pre-qualified, there's probably a few things they should be thinking about or preparing for. And all I want to do is make those points and move on. So when you're first getting started, that is really important. So if you have an entire script pre-written, and that's obviously what we're going to be talking about today, that'll keep you from going too long. So that's one thing I highly recommend. And then finally, you have the closing. The key to the closing is to just ask for one thing, and you want to always have a call to action. Now, there's a few videos where maybe there's not a need for a call to action, but in most cases, you're going to want to tell people what you want them to do as a result of watching that video, right? So again, back to that example, maybe you want to introduce them to some reputable local lenders, right? So you might say, send me a text at this number if you'd like my list of reputable local lenders, right? Or maybe you want them to call you and you're going to tell them to call you. But the key is to only have one call to action. You don't want to have a bunch. You don't even want to have two, because you want to give people the ability to just basically say, I either do or do not want to take that action. When you give them two choices or more, you're actually making them make two decisions. You're making them make the first decision, which is, do I want to take an action or not? And then which action do I want to take? And the result is that you get less overall engagement. Less people overall between the 2 or 3 or 4 choices will respond to you versus if you give them just one. So keep that in mind, right? Just one call to action at the end. And so as we go through here, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a little bit of what this looks like. What does a video recipe look like? What is the structure that we provide through Business Video School? And then we're going to be showing you how to tweak some of those scripts. And if you stick around for the full training, once you've seen the example scripts, I'm going to give you the opportunity to get one of them for free. So you will be able to access your favorite script you see on today's training. We'll send it over to you, but I will show that to you at the end. So you do got to stick around so you can see all those examples, and then I'll get you a free copy of it. So let me go ahead and do another quick screen share here, because I'm going to switch my tab over to showing you a little bit more about the school. So let me pull this up just real quick. Give me 2 seconds. And then we'll do a quick little tour here of what these video recipes ultimately look like. I got too many tabs open on my computer, so let me make sure I find the right one here real quick. I think this is the right one. Let me just make sure. Yeah, there we go. All right, so put that up on the screen, and let's talk about what a video recipe is. So if you're in real estate, or if you're in an industry that works within the real estate world, these might be really appealing to you, right? If you're not in something that has to do with real estate, a lot of these aren't going to be as relevant, but the concepts are still going to apply. So I definitely think you should be paying attention, especially when we start talking about how to customize these scripts for your perfect prospect. So this is the library inside of Business Video School. So if you give me just a couple minutes, I'm going to kind of give you a little tour here and show you what it is that we offer. And so what we decided to do is, years ago when we started this school, we had a lot of our students saying, hey, look, I want to learn to make videos, but one of the main things that I struggle with is I don't know what to say when I'm making a video. I'm not sure what topic to talk about. And even if I do know the topic to talk about, I don't necessarily know what points are important to make, what points I should leave out. How do I keep the video relatively short, but also give people enough information? And the reality is that when you first get started, if you have scripts, if you have structure, if you have something to get the ball rolling, it's a lot easier. And then what happens is, as you make more and more of these kinds of videos, you start to understand what your audience is responding to, right? You start to learn more about what they like and what they don't like. And that's going to make it gradually easier and easier to start writing your own scripts. So this is what we developed to sort of respond to that. Is we want to give our students as many opportunities to make video as easy as possible, right? So just looking at our library here, what you're going to find is that we have a bunch of different categories of videos, right? So we have home buyer education. These are FAQ videos, home seller education, right? We have some short form videos that we just started creating. So stuff that's meant to go on TikTok or Instagram, things like that. Promotional videos, explanations of the real estate process, so on and so forth. So I'm just going to pull up an example real quick just to give you a quick sample here. But when you open these up, let's see what's a good one to take a look at. How about 4 mistakes buyers are making right now, just to give you a quick sample here. So what you do is when you come inside of the library, and I know some of you watching right now are actual students with us right now, so obviously you have access to this. If you like what you're seeing and you want to have access to it, I will give you information on how to get signed up later on. But like I said, if you stick around through the training, you can get access to at least one of these for free. And so what we have here is that we have an example of the video. So we write out a script. But we also create an example video. So what this does, I'm just going to play a couple seconds. We won't play the entire thing, but just to give you an idea of what these look like.
Listen up. Home buyers are making huge mistakes right now. Let's talk about 4 of the biggest mistakes home buyers are making in this hot seller's market and how you can avoid them.
All right, so we'll stop it there. Obviously, things have shifted a little bit since we put this particular recipe out. But what you see here, this is Michael Glazer. He's one of the partners here in our school, and he is very good on camera, right? So what we do is he delivers the script, and then you can emulate what he does, right? So you can watch his mannerisms and the way he talks to the camera and basically copy his presentation style, or you can tweak it to fit your own personality, right? You don't have to do exactly what he does. But what our students told us is, hey, if I can see how this video should look when it's done, I'm going to feel a lot better when I compare it to my own version because I know what I did right, what I did wrong, and what I can improve on in the future, right? So first thing you can do is you can watch the example video. You can get a sense of, hey, is this something that I want to make my own version of? And if you do, what you see over here on the right-hand side is you have the PDF you can download. And I'm not going to do that right now because we're going to talk about some of these scripts as we're going through the training here. But that includes the script for the video. It includes instructions on how to use a teleprompter app to record the video. And it even includes the social media post pre-written for you. So if you want to share this video on social, you just copy and paste that post so you know exactly what to say when you share the video, or you can use that in a body for an email or even a text if you want to, right? You might want to shorten it if it's a text message, but you can use it however you want. And the other thing that we also have in here is that if there's any additional components, any graphics, any music that you're supposed to use in the video, you can simply download them from the download section. So essentially you have everything you need to make a video every single week. We release a new one of these every Tuesday. So right now there's about 110 of these in the library. Obviously, we're not going to be able to show them all to you today. We'll just have a few examples. And then we release a new one every Tuesday. So obviously, as we go, there's new content. There's also content you can go back and create from the past. And that's it. That's a video recipe. So what we're going to do now, that's just kind of a quick tour of what you would see inside of the library. I'm going to pass the baton over to Tanya and Michael now, and they're going to start to walk through how you can adjust these scripts, right? Because here's the thing. We want you to make sure you're attracting the right kinds of people. So every market is different. Every database is different. Every ideal prospect is a little bit different between businesses. And so we have these scripts. You can do them, as they are word for word, or you can make some slight adjustments to ensure that you're attracting the right kinds of people. So that's what we're going to kind of move into next here.
All right, perfect. Thanks for that tee up, Nick.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. I love this platform. This is fantastic. And for those of you who are not familiar with it today, make a check mark in your notebook today to get this done, because this is an incredible platform. So, and like we said in the beginning, the reason we wanted to partner with Nick on this is because we saw the massive opportunity to take what they have done so much hard work on all the way down to creating examples for you to emulate. Is that not incredible?
Yeah, like it's completely turnkey. And all you got to do is just plug it in and do what they say. So they really have done all the heavy lifting for you. And it's interesting, this statistic that Tanya's going to talk about right now.
Yeah. And Nick's not paying us for this, by the way. We're going to talk about that later, Nick. No, just kidding.
We'll circle back. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the reason we're here today, of course, is to say there's not enough to just do videos. Why? Because 9% of agents, only 9% are reported to be doing video, but that's going to change. Now, that's a shocking statistic.
It really would. I was shocked at that. I would have thought at least 25, 30% of people, agents would have been using video, but only 9%, guys. That's an emerging market. That's a lot of room for growth right there. Absolutely.
Absolutely. But think about it this way. It will grow. And when it does, you still want to be the one doing it differently.
Absolutely.
Right? So right now you can be one of the few doing differently. Right. And and in the future, you can still be one of the few doing it differently in a different way, right? Okay, so you have to do it differently if you really want to stand out and attract the prospects that you deserve. 87% of online marketers use video content, right? Real estate, not so much. So we're going to change that here today. Okay. So one of the things we wanted to share with you is 5 different things that are really going to help you hone in on these videos and pull your own personal brand into them. So Michael and I are going to walk through these with you real quick, and then we're going to show you some examples of how we actually put that to use using some of the video recipes that Nick has shared with us. All right. So the first is find topics that really fit. Okay. And that's the reason we're here as personal branding experts, guys, is because how do you know what prospects you're going to go after unless, first of all, you got that brand dialed in? You need to know exactly who it is you are serving and how you're going to serve them, what qualifies you to serve them, how it makes their life better, and what makes you different from everybody else who's also trying to serve those same people. Okay. So that's when you find that's how you know which topics to fit, because you have to know who your ideal customer is first. So don't just do a bunch of topics just to have a volume of videos. I mean, that's great. It's obviously better than none, right? So, we want that, but we want you to really focus on who are you trying to attract, and focus on those topics that will help your clients during any part of the home buying or selling process, such as the part where they search for a home, or they're searching in a particular area, or they're trying to determine their home's value to see if they're going to sell it right now, or they're preparing for showings or preparing for that home inspection, or the services they may need after they've moved. Think about those particular topics and how that makes an impact on who you're trying to attract.
Yeah. Number 2, remember to deliver value that they can't get elsewhere. It's really important, right? There are millions and millions and millions of videos that are being created every day, right? And put onto YouTube. And when you can deliver something that they can't get anywhere else, then we mean your specific spin on that content, right? There's no such thing as a what's the saying? Original idea, right? Nothing new under the sun, right? So like we're all reinventing something that we already have heard, but you really want that spin to be unique, and you want it to be something they can't get anywhere else. So you might have people that are doing like videos of parks or something like that, or amenities that are close to the areas that you're serving, but you still want to do that differently. And that's where having a good personal brand really helps with that. There are many creative ways to deliver that type of content that will make people remember you over somebody else. So what you want to do is position yourself as that value. You are that value.
Exactly. And again, hang tight, because in just a moment, we're going to show you some examples to put this into play. All right. Number 3 is be consistent with your brand. This actually should be Michael's turn to talk about this, because why don't you just do that?
Well, this is my favorite one, right? You're being consistent. You have to be consistent with whatever you do. Nick will tell you have to be consistent with your videos. They're consistent with the content they're giving you as clients of the Video Business School. So you got to do the same thing. Just do what they tell you what they know it works, right? And consistency is the absolute key. You have to make sure that your brand colors are in your video. You have to wear them. Like, for instance, I'm wearing mine now. I always either wear a black shirt or a blue shirt or a gray shirt, and it always has my logo on it. Wear them, have them in the background, like you see BrandFace is in the background right here. These are consistencies that we stick with day in and day out. Include something that represents your brand in the background, like shoot a video in a cool place. Maybe you're known for traveling or adventure, or simply show your logo on the wall, again, like we're showing here. Your book on a bookshelf is another good way. If you've written a book, travel photos, you get the point, right? You really want everything to be consistent, not just consistent putting out content, consistent in that overlay of that content.
All right. And number 4 is establish your authority. This is the reason you position yourself and build your personal brand before anything else.
Yeah.
So as Nick said, don't start your video out saying, "Hi, I'm Tanya, and this is who I am." Start out with something that's going to capture their attention, that attention grabbing statement, and then say, Hi, I'm Tanya, right? I'm branding agent to business stars, and here's who I help, and here's how I help them. So introduce yourself with what we call your brand identifier. For those of you who are new to BrandFace and don't really know what we're talking about when we say that, it is a tagline or a slogan that really positions you and says, here's what I want to be known for. And it's not, quote, the brand, it's just a window to the soul of the brand. So, and we'll share some examples with you in a few minutes. So we'll get there. Yep. But let them know in this video why you are the only one they should consider, and make your prospects feel like they have finally found the solution that they were looking for. Those are just a few of the ways that you can use that video to really establish your authority.
And number 5, use keywords for SEO. Really important. Create attention grabbing titles, write compelling descriptions using keywords that people are searching often. There's plenty of tools that'll teach you how to do that. They're free, most of them. Include your script for correct subtitles, because that's really important, and use tags properly. Consider a service like maybe Tubi to help you with those tags.
Yeah, and that's actually a great tool for YouTube, and it'll help you figure out which tags. It'll recommend certain tags for you. So, and we'll do another training on that a different day if you guys would like. And Nick, I'm sure, knows about that tool and can help us with that as well. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Now we're going to show you how to do these things. All right. We'll show you some examples of how to infuse your brand using some of the video recipes from the Business Video School. Just like they've done all the hard work there. We're going to show you exactly how you can customize it. Okay. We'll walk through their massive selection of scripts and found a few where we could show you these possibilities. And remember that these are just examples, and they're also examples using someone else's brand. So be creative with your own. The whole idea of it is to be different. Remember, you're using content that, yes, other people are going to be putting out that same content, but you're going to be putting it out different. And that's what matters.
Exactly. So I thought I'd take just a moment before we enter this to kind of set the tone for this. So like Michael said, you're going to be seeing other people's brand ideas, and you're going to be hearing about what we call, we have brand identifiers, as we said, slogans or taglines that we've created for many people across the world. And you're going to see some of those today are our trademarked brand identifiers. And the reason we do those is so we can protect agents in various different communities. So for instance, if we said this, brand identifier is ABC, well, if somebody comes into your market and says, I like your ABC brand identifier, I'd like to use that, we can protect our agents in those markets from somebody else trying to take those brand identifiers. So if you see one, however, that you like today, we do license those in various different markets throughout the US. So if you see something you like, let us know, and we'll see if that's available in your market. I also want to address one more thing: the creativity and the authenticity, the uniqueness of things. When you see a brand identifier, I'll kind of give you a heads up. We'll have one called Lifestyle Locator. Well, we have probably 15 or 20 different lifestyle locators throughout the United States right now. Each one of those people that are known as the Lifestyle Locator, they're all super unique. Their own unique stories wrapped around that brand. So everybody's brand is very unique. It's just that they go by the Lifestyle Locator in their area because they all kind of have a couple of things in common. People that are lifestyle locators are in a destination area, destination market, and that market is really all about the lifestyle that people are buying and selling in that area. So anyway, those are what we call the trademark brand identifiers. You're going to see some of those today. So I just kind of wanted to give you a heads up.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get into some examples. Let's get into some exciting stuff right here. And this example that we're going to do, we're using the video recipe called Lead Conversion Video Messages. All right. It's in the library that Nick was talking about earlier. Every agent needs this video in their collection, in our opinion here. Your goal should be not just reading the script word for word, but looking at how you can inject your brand messaging and imagery into the video to make your clients remember you over anybody else that's making a video about the same subject or using the same video. Here's an example of how we took this specific script and modified it using one of our clients who happens to be known as the American Dream agent. Okay. And the script goes, as you see on one side of the screen right here, this is a generic script. And the other one is just literally how Sydney infuses this into her videos, her brand. Hi, I'm Sydney. I'm your American Dream agent. I am a former military spouse, and I've helped people like you to relocate to another area and settle into civilian life. I have a couple of homes in mind that I believe fit what you were seeking instead of, hey, I'm following up. Have you found the house you want? Okay. Yep. So it's about using and infusing that brand and why that is going to be important to that specific group of people. In Sydney's example here, she really does cater a lot to military families because she comes from a military family. She was married into a military family. They lived on base down in Jacksonville, North Carolina for years. And she helped a lot of people while she was down there to relocate, find other places in the country as they were relocated. And so you can see where her brand totally fits what the content is of the video. So it's all about putting that in there and not just saying, hey, are you looking for a house?
Yeah. Think about this too. Let's say, assume you got a lead, right? And you're following up with that lead. So are probably 8 other people, right? So you follow up with that lead and you say, hey, I'm Sydney. I'm your American Dream agent. This is what I do. I do it for people just like you. How is that different from I'm Joan and I just got notice that you are looking at a certain house. I can get you information on that as well as others. Can you tell me what you're looking for? How different are those two things?
Right.
Very, very different. Okay. All right. The next example is we're using the video recipe Fun Facts About Wine, which I wanted to take this one and explain it because I love wine.
Yeah.
Like I
like the fact they have it in their
I do
library.
too. It's
this
genius.
gives you an idea of what kind of videos they have in the library, and it's awesome.
It is. So this is a fantastic idea for almost anybody, right? But especially if your brand focuses on like a more affluent lifestyle or people who love to entertain. So this is where our lifestyle locator brand identifier comes into play. And that's one of our trademarked ones. Well, Kathy White is one of our lifestyle locators. She's in Whistler, British Columbia. That area is known for its ski resorts. It's very luxury driven area. A lot of investors want to buy second homes, vacation homes, etc. Okay, so Kathy is a marketing genius with her brand. She infuses her brand everywhere so well. She actually partnered up with a grocery delivery company that delivers to these big giant homes that people come and rent in the area, because where do the buyers come from? People that visit Whistler and decide, hey, I love this. Let's look for a place to buy. So she put her logos on those grocery delivery boxes. But what if she partnered with a local winery and made them a sponsor of her YouTube channel? And she could say, if you visit their winery, try my new Cabernet, my lifestyle locator Cabernet. You know, maybe she could white label that, partner with them on a specific blend, private label, or mention lifestyle locator and get $5 off your bottle or 50% off your first bottle, whatever that is. You can see now how that lifestyle locator falls right into the lifestyle of somebody who would love good wines, good food, you know, that kind of thing. So that, again, is just a really great way for somebody with a good, solid brand to pull that, you know, personality into those videos and make them stand out a little bit more.
Exactly. All right. This next example, we're using the video recipe Moving with Your Pet. This is super good, especially in the world we live in now, where the pets usually sleep better and ride better than we do. If your ideal prospects are huge animal lovers or you have family-centric brand, this is perfect for you. We have a client in San Antonio, Texas, who focused entirely on condominium living. He was an expert at that. Really, it's really what he focused on. Talk about, you know, the niches, the riches are in the niches, right? It's what all he did. And he created an ebook that helped pet owners more easily acclimate to living in condominium units, and which is different from living in a single family home, obviously, because they have to use stairs, elevators, whatever, common outdoor spaces, that sort of thing. He promoted his ebook at the end of all of his videos with a link to download it. And with the video recipe that they've already done for you, you can create videos highlighting pet-friendly restaurants, pet-friendly parks, groomers, dog walkers, dog sitters, everything that you need, all the ancillaries that you need for that. But keep in mind, you are infusing your brand at every turn. You're giving that great information that you want in a way that your ideal customer wants to receive that, because we all really want to watch videos rather than read anything or do anything. And so you're giving that really good value, but you got to remember, put that brand in there.
And that brand made total sense with this particular topic, because he was talking about condo living and how very different it is for pets, and how, their lifestyle changes, and Michael laughs at it because he does think that dogs sleep better than we do.
I know my dog does.
I know he does. That's true. That's true. Okay. All right. So the next example is based on the video recipe. Is it time to downsize? Okay. So we have another trademark brand identifier called transition agent. We've got quite a few of these throughout the United States, and it's a natural fit for this one. And I'm going to tell you the quick story of a lady named Gail. She's in upstate New York. And she was our very first transition agent, 8-9 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And Gail calls me one day. She's only about 2 weeks into the branding process. And she calls and says, Tanya, I just had to call you. I have just been out there introducing myself with my brand identifier and telling somebody my elevator pitch when I introduced myself. And she said, you would not believe the way people look at me now. She said, I have people look at me and say, oh my gosh, is that what you do? That's exactly where I am in my life right now. I'm in a transition from one place to another. Now, what was so special about this is Gail was actually working with seniors, mostly seniors, and she was helping them move out of a lifetime home where they have so much stuff and they didn't know what to do with it. And she said, Tanya, this is more than just helping one person move. This affects the whole family. These people have lived in these homes forever. And she was helping them prepare to go to assisted living or truly downsize to a much smaller space. So what she did was pull in a counselor. She pulled in a home organizer, a charity that accepted furniture and other items, an auction company. She had all of that in her repertoire to help people make this transition, to help the whole family make the transition. And that's where the words transition agent came into play, and why we immediately trademarked that, because it defines so many things. And now our transition agents all over the world, some of them focus on young families who are transitioning into their second home. Some focus on professionals who are transitioning to a better job so they can afford a bigger house. And so there are many different types of people that would transition from one phase of life to another. And that's why I love this. Is it time to downsize associated with the transition agent? Again, you can see what she does makes perfect sense for this particular topic, and she can insert her brand and her brand identifier right in there.
Okay? Yeah.
All right.
And hey, we got to give a big shout out to our friend Nate Dania. He is Dubai's lifestyle locator. Nate, thank you for joining us, buddy. Fantastic agent. All right.
Yep.
Awesome guy. Hey, in this example, we're going to use the video script of how does a home inspection process work. Again, from Business Video School. They've already made this for you. This video recipe is really good for any brand, but you got to infuse what you're known for. Us, what you catching the drift here, especially if attention to detail or negotiation is your strong suit. Those are really good things that you want to inject here. For example, one of our home navigators decided to use this script that would be a great alignment with the topic. Navigator means guide, right? Which means perfectly to guiding somebody thoughtfully and thoroughly or throughout any part of the process. Our home navigator can share the steps of the process, offer a free navigating your inspection checklist to their clients, prepared to go to the part of that process that most people worry about. You get the point, and that she can infuse that in every sentence, every part of the video. The language they use could customize the script, and it might even say, I help you navigate the whole inspection process so the process is faster and has fewer delays. And you can come up with dozens of examples of how to infuse that.
Exactly.
And it fits perfect with the video script that they've already done the heavy lifting for you.
Yeah. And as a side note to this, we've got a home navigator down in the Fort Lauderdale area. And it's not the how does your home inspection process work topic, but I'm sure in this massive library, they have stuff for waterfront or anything like, outdoor adventure, things like that. And the home navigator down in Fort Lauderdale talks about her waterfront lifestyle, and that was the goal when we first branded her, because she wasn't really known for waterfront, even though she lived that life every single day. Now with her new brand, she's known for that lifestyle and creating that type of content. So you can kind of see, just more and more and more ideas of how to infuse brands into this. All right, the next one is a very unique one, and I love it for its uniqueness.
This is one of my favorite ones.
It is. So we have an agent in the Atlanta area, and she's known as Real Estate Remedy, another one of the brand identifiers that we have. Well, this particular topic, the Month of Giving video, our nonprofit video, is absolutely for anybody, and I would highly recommend it. Get involved with your community. Giving back is the number one thing we all need to do, and this is such a great way to do that. I'm going to tell you how this agent weaved her, wove, is that right?
Yeah.
her brand into
weaved
the video.
Or woved.
Yeah. So what this video gives you a chance to do is it gives you the opportunity to share your personal favorite charity and highlight them, right? So in this agent's case, her brand identifier is Real Estate Remedy. Okay. Why? Well, she focuses on traveling nurses. You wouldn't believe the amount of business that she gets. The riches are in the niches, guys, right? She focuses on traveling nurses. So if she did this video, she might choose to highlight a health-based charity like One Nurse at a Time. I didn't even know that charity existed before we started doing some research for this collaboration with Nick, but that's a great way to do it. And it works really well when the charity that you're highlighting aligns with your perfect prospect, because your prospect is going to see you promoting this charity, One Nurse at a Time, and realize, oh, well, did you work with nurses? This is awesome, right? It's such a great connection. Okay. I just love that one because
that's
it is
one of
so
my favorite
unique.
ones. Yeah. And the next example, we're going to use the video recipe testimonial video. Very important for all of your video content that you put out. You should definitely be looking at testimonial video. Again, for all brands, and every agent should have them. And here's how you inject your brand into those. Lead your clients to include your brand identifier into the reviews.
Right.
Okay. To call you what your brand identifier is. So this is why it's important to really put some thought into your brand before you really start marketing, because now you're talking to that ideal customer. Then you're putting out videos like this, and you're getting and leading your really good, strong clients to use that same identifier in the testimonials. This is how you build the reputation. This is how you build your culture, okay? When prospects are seeing your reviews, they're reminded over and over again that your clients agree with what you stand for, because they are calling you by that brand identifier. And in your request for the video, ask them, can you please share how I went the extra mile for you? Another one of our trademark brand identifiers is the extra mile agent, right? And so you could ask them a question like that. Can you please share how I went the extra mile for you? Carrie went the extra mile by. You see how that works? And now you've got a cheerleader, right? You've got an influencer to all the other clients, and you haven't even spoke to anybody. So
there you go. Okay. So I'm going to turn this presentation. I'll take that down for a second. Okay. So Nick, what do you think about how we utilize your amazing scripts and infuse those personal brands in?
I love it. Yeah, no, I think that's a great example. I mean, that's the challenge that we face, right? As a school, is like we want to provide these scripts as much as we can, but we can't customize them for each person. So I love all the examples. I love the, all the taglines and everything you got there. So I had a question for you guys, if you don't mind, which is, when somebody's getting started here, what do they need to do to sort of determine what direction they should go with their brand? What are your thoughts there?
Yeah. Okay. So, we do like the 3D process that's what we're known for, is the 3D freedom formula. And so we take people through a define, develop, and display phase. And just to answer your question and not go into this lengthy thing, because we can talk with each one of you individually if you'd like. Just let us know in the comments that you want to talk to us about this, and we'll talk about your specific brand and how you can start creating videos that really resonate with you. But in that define phase, we look at a couple of things. Number one, we look at who your ideal customers are and really help you hone in on that. And we have this awesome, HEAP criteria. And Michael, you want to run them through the HEAP criteria?
Yeah, it's worth
it. It
right.
totally is worth it.
I'll be real quick. I'll be brief, guys. It's very simple, all right? But the KISS system always works, okay, no matter where you're at. So keeping it simple is very, very, very important. The HEAP, HEAP, is our acronym for this. Number one, you want to look at people you can truly help. Now, maybe you can help them because you've been through what they've been through. Maybe you've had a parent go through it, or maybe you had a bad experience. A lot of people get in real estate, but I'm like, why did you get in real estate? They're like, because I had a horrific real estate agent and I said, I can do this, right? How many of y'all would raise a hand to that? So people you can truly help. Right. And then you also want to pick and think about this. And if you're a newbie, if you're just getting started and you don't have past experience to go on for this, then imagine the person that you want to work with. The E is somebody you enjoy working with. Very important, because if you don't enjoy what you're doing, don't do it. Go do something else. I mean, life is way too short to dance with ugly personalities. The A is somebody that will appreciate you. How many of us have worked with people and they were 10 times smarter than us, even though you've done 1,000 transactions and they've never bought a house before? We all know what this is like, and it's incredibly frustrating. Don't spend your marketing dollars trying to reach those people. Find somebody that appreciates the fact that you do have value in the transition or in the transaction, and you're giving them that, and they appreciate it. And the P, of course, is profitable, and that's not a bad word. We've got in this business to make money, right? So don't feel bad about making money. That's why we're here. So you want to help people you can help, people you enjoy work with, people that appreciate what you do, and people that are profitable to you. That helps you hone in to who you want to speak to in your ideal customer.
And hopefully that helps you guys, really narrow that down. The other thing we do in our define phase is take a look at all of your points of differentiation. Okay. Mm-hmm. And what that means is every human being has multiple things that make them unique. We don't just have one. That'd be super easy to figure out, right? We've got all these. And then how do we know what is going to appeal to people? Well, that first of all depends on who you're trying to attract, right? But we've got to figure out something that is compelling, something that's important to that ideal customer, and something that's unique in our market. And so those are the things we look at before we decide what will be your brand identifier. Again, that's that thing that just sets the tone and direction, says, here's what I'm known for. I'm your lifestyle locator. I'm your transition agent. I'm, whatever, right? So that's really, to answer your question, Nick, how we get started in that process. But can't recommend Business Video School highly enough. We love it. And I know Nick's got a giveaway for you guys. So I'll hit that for you, Nick. You want me to go ahead and click that? All right.
Go ahead. Yeah, we can talk on that for a second. Let me make that full screen for everybody. So this was amazing. Obviously, if I was watching this right now, I'd be looking at those recipes, and if any of those adjustments that are made or any of those examples resonate with you, I'm happy to give you one of these recipes for free. What I want you to do is shoot me an email. So there's sort of two ways to go about this. You can either type out my email address, which is nick@bizvideoschool.com. Send me an email and just say like free video recipe is the subject, and just let me know which of those you wanted. And if you can't remember the exact name, just sort of describe it. Obviously, we talked about a lot of pretty unique video recipes today. I'll be able to figure it out, and I'll send you your own version. So I'll give you the PDF with the script, all the instructions, the social post. I'll send you the example video you can emulate, so you can give it a try and you can get started on your video content. The other way to get this is if you have trouble seeing the screen or you can't type anything out, but you could scan a QR code right now. This is kind of cool. It's the first time I've ever done this, actually. But if you scan this particular QR code, it will just pull up a text version on your phone with my email address. And you can literally just copy it from there, or you can literally just click send, and then you'll have an email pull up on your phone that you can send over to me. So yeah, again, just send it to nick@bizvideoschool.com. And we'll give you a free sample of any of the recipes that you saw today, so you can try this out yourself. And then I obviously highly recommend Contact and BrandFace, especially if you are a student with us, because this is an area that I think is only becoming more important. This is an area that I know a lot of our students have kind of expressed both frustration and a lot of excitement around the opportunity to be crystal clear, because this is the thing about video. Video is the most intimate form of virtual communication you're ever going to really have access to. I mean, this allows you to get in front of people. They feel like they're having a face-to-face conversation with you. It's super impactful. And so it's very beneficial, but also a little bit dangerous, right? Because you can build relationships very quickly. And if you're careful and intentional about the kinds of people you're attracting, it can blow your business up in a really awesome way, right? And if you just try to throw random stuff out there and hope it works, you might spin your wheels for quite a while and find some frustration because you're not necessarily getting the right people. So I think this is, especially if you're a current student with us, definitely worth checking out. Going to discussyourbrand.com and getting an appointment with them so you can start to figure out how to really dial in and differentiate yourself, especially as the market is obviously sort of shifting right now. We want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to stay in front of that. So just one last reminder, then you guys can take it down. If you scan that QR code or you send me an email, just let me know free video recipe in the subject. Let me know which one you wanted, and I will get that over to you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Guys, we'll be happy to answer any of your questions. You can also go back into the, you can go down in the comments at any time after this presentation. On YouTube is probably a great place to do it, or inside the Business Video School Facebook group. You can do it in there. And if you haven't joined that yet, join it. There's also Build Your Real Estate Brand Facebook group, and you can join that one too. If you're not part of that, please do. We would love to have you. So, but pop in any comments in there and we'll watch those today and make sure that we answer every one of them, guys. So any parting wisdom?
Well, I do see one asking, can you go back to the choices? So you want to throw the slides back up for a second, just sort of scroll through them real quick so they can see the options?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would make sense now, wouldn't it? All right, here we go. Let me go back. Hold on. Okay, here we go. This one's lead conversion video. So it's basically a follow-up from a lead, right? You're trying to convert them and get them before somebody else does. Okay. Fun facts about wine, my personal favorite.
Moving with your pet.
Another of my personal favorites.
Always a good one, really. Is it time to downsize? That's a good one. How does the home inspection process work? The month of giving nonprofit video. And the ever important testimonial video.
Mm-hmm. And Beth Ellen, I should have that at my fingertips right now, but I literally just pulled it off. It's pretty recent. I'll find it for you though and put it in the comments on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Okay. So thank you for the question. Okay, so those are all the choices, guys. So if you, and we'll probably list all those in the comments as well. Mm-hmm. Okay, but if there are no other questions, then we're just going to let you guys get it the rest of your day and go start logging into Business Video School, making those videos.
Yeah.
Okay. And I want to give a big shout out to Sydney and Nate. Both of them are our clients and are on today, and we appreciate it. We saw both of them on here yesterday on a presentation we were doing too. So thank you for your support. You guys are amazing.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. All right. And Nick, we appreciate you. Thank you
Absolutely,
so much for doing
sir.
this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you guys. And I was going to, if you don't mind, if you just show one more code on the computer, I just wanted to just throw this out there since we didn't have any more questions to answer. I know it's just a black screen with a QR code. We are actually doing a flash sale on annual memberships right now. So if you liked what you saw, I mean, obviously we welcome you to get that example, but I know every now and then there's somebody who's like, hey, I like this. Let's dive right on in. If you scan that'll take you over to that flash sale, which does end tonight at midnight Pacific time. So if you'd like to learn more about what the school offers and maybe even get started with us soon, that QR code will take you there. So I just wanted to throw that out there at the end here. But that's all we got. Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate doing this, guys. And it's a lot of fun. We'll have to keep doing these. I think this is really helpful.
Absolutely.
Same here, my friend. All right, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll hope to talk to you soon.
Yeah, and hey, I'll leave you with a parting little thought here. Be bold about it, right? Get in business video school, get those videos going, get your brand dialed in, and be bold about it. It'll make a difference in your life. I promise you. We're not scared of housing recessions around here, so there's a reason why. So we want you to join us on that.
All right, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you again.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.